find my picture. But let's just do our welcome unwind Friday, even though you guys can't see me. Melissa had logged us out, so we never was live.
Okay, so all right, so we are live now, guys. I promise you, we were on time. We had went through the whole spiel. Well, not the whole spiel. Some of it when we realized we were not. So let's try this again. Welcome to Unwind Friday. It's your girl Lisa Black bringing you the heat with a little street.
And it's your girl, Marie, certified life and health coach, bringing you tools you can use. And
And
we
we
are
are Sisters
Sisters
Edified.
Edified. You guys can't see me right now. I don't know why, but we're going to just keep it
I
going.
seen you for a second, Marie, but then you touched it again and you went back out. So we're gonna jump right back in, guys. We were like, right now I can see you. Don't touch it again.
Okay.
So we were in. So we're gonna jump right back in, guys. So our topic tonight is 10 signs that you are maturing. So
Yes.
we wanted to start with those signs that you are maturing. The first one
And wait a
was
minute, before we started, I want to ask a question. Do you feel like that you have matured? Do you feel like you are mature? Answer the question for us. Comment, let us know. Comment yes or no if
well,
you feel
while
like
we waiting
you're
for
mature.
that, what are we unwinding with tonight, guys? I have my classic, my go-to when I want to grab something quick off the shelves and get out of the store. I go grab my Michigan winter wine, because it works for me.
You guys, I've been unwinding with my favorite Bantu mango green tea with real fruit and basil seeds in it. And also, I'm also unwinding with one of my favorites you can never go wrong with and you can find anywhere in the world is my Shutter Home Sweet Red. I mean, I know it's
You
gonna
wanted to find it somewhere. I was gonna caution you when you said you could find anywhere, because I'm like, that'd be a little hard to find. We be looking for that sometimes.
oh yeah, you're right, because you can find Shutter Home anything except for the Sweet Red
That's
sometime
definitely
when you out of town.
it's hard
But
to
I can
find.
tell you what you can always find. What's the other one called in Shutter Home? The it's kind of pink looking.
The Moscato,
Not the Moscato. You can find that one anywhere. And then it's dang, my cousin Pumpkin loves that one. I can't
the
even think
Pinot
of it now.
Grigio.
No, I can't even think of it right now. Let's just
Oh,
continue.
Marla. No, no,
So
White Zinfandel.
white Zippendale. You can find the Shutter Home white Zippendale anywhere.
So, number one, the first sign that you have matured, guys, small talk no longer excites you. Well, I'm thinking of small talk. I'm thinking of gossip. I'm thinking of bickering, complaining. Just people
Backbiting.
come, yes, people coming with those negative stories. Like it becomes draining when you have maturity. Your mind is not there. You just like, look, I hear you. I appreciate that you are in a space, but I want to keep my space sacred. I want to keep my
Peaceful.
peace. Yes, because I'm at the age where my peace is everything. Like I don't want nothing disrupting that. I don't want you to, to draw me in and drain me with that. So small talk does not excite me anymore. Like it used to be like, girl, what? Who? Now I get it. I hear you. I would not. Even if I
Hey,
heard
hey,
I was
hey, can I
engaged.
say, hey, you guys that's watching, could you guys tell me if you see me? Because I can't see myself right now. So I would like for you to tell me if
I
you see.
see you. You gonna go out again? You do that?
No, I'm trying to make sure that I'm
Do
not
y'all see
blocking
me?
myself. I think I'm blocking myself with something that I have on here. Let me see something. Nope, that's not it, but it's
Hit the
something.
button that say camera. Comment. Do y'all see Marie? Let's see. Let's see if they see you. Hi, Serena. Facebook users
Hi.
said yes. I think they're saying yes till they see you. I
Okay,
don't
they can
know.
see me. They can see
They can
me.
see you. Perfect. Great. Thank you guys for that. So
Thank
back to
you.
what we're saying, that small talk, that little mess, that messiness, that pettiness, baby. We're not here for it no more. We too
Absolutely. You want people in your life that can feed you wisdom, feed you physically, mentally. If people, because what happened is small talk, negative talk drains you. It's
yeah.
draining. You'll be feeling drained and depression, don't know why. But if you have somebody in your life that's always calling you with messiness, pettiness, negativity. That drains your spirit. So
It
you
do.
want somebody who can speak to your spirit, who can speak to your mind, that's gonna something that they're speaking to that's causing growth in your life. Do you agree, Melissa?
Exactly. Now you can small talk business and success all day, baby. Yes, I want to hear it. If I'm in a situation, I want you to be able to talk me through it. I want you to be able to say to me, girl, you got this. Girl, this is how I got through it. Girl, this is how you can get through it. Here's some resources. My sister dealt with something like that. I'm going to connect you with her. That's the type of small talk we are interested in at this age, or at least myself. So,
Absolutely.
number two.
Number two, sleep is better than a Friday night out. Now y'all know we get no, I'm just playing. I'm young and fine. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all just but you know, when you young, when I was young, I would give I would work 12 hours and go out on a Friday night. When you become more mature, you like it ain't even worth it, you know.
I don't have the energy. Like I was saying, I would like be at work, like double booking, triple booking, because I want to make sure I had something to do. Like I would be like, hey, what y'all got up for tonight? What we on? Like, and then like I said, I would make sure I double book, triple book in case somebody canceled.
That's
But
right.
now, honey, a cancellation is a gift, babe.
Melissa, I used to work and make sure I came home, took my shower, go right to the club and
Girl,
get and stay out to 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and get up and go back to work at 8, baby.
see, and I remember when you used to project on to me
Girl,
when
that's an old subject. We ain't even talking about that today. Y'all see, you gotta come for me. Tell Melissa don't come for me.
Wait, look though. I was always like, I don't know. I guess I'm a square. I don't know. I was the mom in the group. Like my friends, like when it gets to about 1, 2 o'clock, baby,
You
I'm going
was a
home.
square.
Baby, I'm still a square, but baby, I'm going home. We ain't got nothing to talk about it this time. I'm going to the house. Like
Y'all
I've
want
been,
to know what's so funny? But listen, it's like I'm 8 years older than you, and I'm the person who probably gonna keep us out all night.
and I'll be mad. I'm be like, look, I got to go home. I'm going to bed. Like I had my fun. I'm happy.
And I'm
It was
like, oh, you just got to get home to hubby, huh?
And she like, oh, you sound man. You said, but my friends probably thought that too, but they couldn't tell me, so they would just act like they was always keep coming, like kind of like mom used to do to us. My friends used to do that too. Like they'll both come out the house. Like one of them would come out, like let me go get her. Oh, then they'll come out. Let me go find her. Like trying to play me like that. But I used to keep my cool. But
Yes. Number
number
three,
three, this
you
is you.
forgive more.
Yes, number three, you forgive more. This is huge for me. Like my thing used to be my way of dealing was not to deal. My way of like I used to be like, I'm cutting people off. Like I'm done. I'm over it. I'm moving on. Even if I was hurt, even if I was mad, instead of me just used to be like, I'm mad, I'm hurt. Like, or you did this, this, and that. I would just be like, I'm never talking to that person again. That person no longer exists to me. I'm done. But now I'm at a point in my life where like I'm at peace. Like I'm good. Like I said, what is and what is not, it is not. I'm not forcing nothing. I'm not like I don't have to fix nothing because I'm always the person that's like, whatever you choose to do, baby, that's on you. Like
Mhm.
most times, a lot of times my relationships went sour because of what somebody done to me. But I'm such a forgiving person. They don't even know I didn't forgave them. I'm like a baby sometimes. I'm like, well, oh girl, if you'd have just came back, we'd have been still cool. Like I didn't even think
But
about that.
the problem with that type of thinking that you have is the communication part, because I don't
Yeah.
know if you forgave me if you haven't communicated that, because you can have nonverbal communication that I forgave you, verbal
Hmm.
communication that it's things, but if you use none of those communication skills, then I don't know if you forgave me. So I like that when it says a part of maturing is you forgive more, because when we
Yeah.
young, and I see it on Facebook all the time. I don't care who I'm on, I cut you off so quick. People brag about that. I cut you off so quick. I don't need nobody. False. You absolutely need somebody to support you and be there for you. I
Absolutely.
absolutely love all of my friends, and all of them bring something different to my life. So it will absolutely affect my life if they was not in my life. When you tell yourself you don't care that somebody you love is not going to be a lot, it's not true to you. And even though you act like you're strong and you write all that, you still suffer through it.
You
So you
do.
might as
You
well be real
absolutely do.
about it. You might as well
Yeah.
understand. Like, one thing about me that I know I matured is when I can understand and look at people through love. When I can say, oh, this person was going through something. That's why they reacted to me this
That's
way.
a perfect segue into number 4 when you're
Yes,
saying
it
that. Go
is.
ahead.
Yes,
Don't
it
finish
is.
up.
Go ahead.
Finish up though.
Number 4, being more open-minded, understanding, like, because I'm coming from you forgive more, being more under my understanding that somebody might have been going through something in their life. So that's probably why they withdrawn, or they didn't talk to you like they should,
Yeah.
or or they reacted in a way that you felt uncomfortable with. Being
Right.
open-minded, that it wasn't about me. Instead,
And
but if you
also
think,
being, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I want to cut
oh,
you
you
off.
go ahead,
I
you
was
go ahead.
going to say, also being open minded is to say there is a chance that I was wrong in this. There was
Absolutely.
there was a chance that I may have non-verbally or verbally communicated in the wrong way. It,
Absolutely.
like I could be wrong in this too. So when you become open minded, you have to begin to see things from different angles
From
because
different perspectives.
from different perspectives. Because if you seeing stuff only from your experience and your background, and you're not taking the other person or the other group into consideration, then you understand it from that angle. And then you're gonna always feel right because if you felt like, well, what I would have done, that's what we always say, don't project on yourself onto anybody else. Because like I've been in a situation. And when me and somebody I truly loved reconnected, it was like all this for nothing, a
Another.
nonverbal miscommunication.
But it
We
took
both
time. It
thinking,
took that separation time that you guys had was God, because in that time you guys was able to mature and
yeah.
grow. Was Ti expeditiously? Yeah, I'm trying to get like Ti, but I'll pronounce stuff good. But
That's fast and
and
quickly.
so sometimes separation is good for growth, because some people never grow to where they need to be if they attached. And sometimes separation can be good, but coming back together. But if you haven't matured, you will never come back together with the
And,
person you love.
right. And but during that time of separation, it
Mhm.
begins to make me look at me. Because
Absolutely.
every time I looked at, well, like I said, I'm not the person who did anything. It was these people or that or this situation. I don't know what. And then I'm like, okay, if this has happened more than once, what am I not doing? What am I doing?
How did I contribute to this?
How
Because
am
in
I
a
contributing to this?
relationship, whether it's a man and a female friend, whatever it is, it's always two people that contributes to a destruction of a relationship.
It absolutely is, whether you know it or not. So, and then for me, I'm a person like I'm not checking. That's how I was.
I
I'm
mean,
not
that's
checking.
how you was, not
That's
now.
how I was.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it is what it is. I'm not going. No matter how hurt, how sad, how tough I try to play, how whatever it is, what it is. But I was like, and then the inside, it started to kind of wear on me because I'm like, I do care. I do love these people. I am concerned why they are no longer in my life.
I
Now,
see
probably
them succeeding, and even though we're not talking, I'm excited. I love this. I want this person to know I'm rooting for them, because it runs deep. But only mature people. Immature people will purposely. Do you know unforgiveness is a purposeful behavior, and it hinders you more than you can ever think of, because you have to on purpose when you love somebody, not love them. You have to on purpose every time if you see them, ignore them. Every time you see them, not talk to them. Every time you see them doing good, even in your heart, you happy, not celebrate them. It is so much better just to say, you know what, that was all petty. I need to find out with this person what went wrong so I can fix it. Because I know that I'm a hard person to deal with, Melissa. I'm also a forgiving, but I want y'all to know, a person who sees no flaws in that stuff and everybody else is a narcissist. So
yeah.
that is a difficult person to deal with. A person, and I still know how to love narcissist people, but it's difficult. You really got to have Jesus in your life to work with these type of people, because they think that they are perfect beings on this earth.
Right. So now I want to take it from a different angle. So now we looked at this open mindedness from the angle of it may be
Mhm.
me, but I also want to say it could be them. It could
Yeah.
be him. And you need to understand that too. You have done all you can do. You have reached out all you can reach out, understood all you can understand. And there is a point in time where it may be that person, it may not be you. And you may need a time of separation for that person to begin to grow and reflect and figure out what it is that's wrong. Or maybe that relationship just not isn't that just isn't the relationship. And you need to be okay with that. So number 5, you respect differences. Everybody's not the same. Everybody came from different backgrounds. Everybody came from different starting points. I used to be so hard on myself because I would see people my age or even the older people at different stages. And you know how we push ourselves. I could be doing more. It's a 9-year-old out here making millions on YouTube, and I'm getting up going to work. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? But you need to understand that everybody have different drives. Everybody have different, like just differences. Everybody have different outlooks. So
Different
whether it's their,
trauma.
yes, different things. So and when I think about my background and where I started from and where I built from, and I had the amazing, strong mom, and then suddenly I did not. I was a teenager, a young teenager. I had to build a foundation based on what my mom taught me, what my sisters showed me, what my sisters represented for me, and whether they knew it or not, role modeling. And I had to build from that as a 17-year-old kid. Whether you say teen or not, if you go look at your 17-year, imagine your 17-year-old out on their own in the world, no parents. You just and my siblings are just as young because we stair steppers. For those who don't know,
So
so they only
her first level of growth was becoming a gangster. Because I was a gangster. No, I'm just
you know. So I'm like to make it where I made it from being an orphan because I
yeah,
was considered an orphan. You
yeah,
know, I had to,
absolutely. Because
when I
all
had lost
their
when I
father.
called. Right. When I signed up for school, I was considered an orphan and I had to use that in order to get into school. So, coming from an orphan and building what I built on my own, figuring these things out, navigating through life, I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of me.
You know what I want to say, Melissa? What people don't understand is when you respect differences of opinion, differences of lifestyle,
Yeah,
it creates greatness, especially if you're an
dude.
entrepreneur and you're working in a business where you have employees or things like that. They bring creative things to you. Oh, I think you should do this for your business. They help businesses grow. I mean, they help you grow when you sit and really think like, what you said is, I'm gonna try that. I love
Right.
it. Like I'm so wired so differently because I just absolutely love different type. You know how I am, Melissa. I
Yes.
love different type. I love hearing different type. Yeah, I started off in a child care center. One of my first jobs was in a child care center with kids, and they used to tell me all their parents' businesses. I loved it, but not for. I just loved it because you got to see like differently. You got to see everybody was the same. Everybody experienced some of the same type of things, but at the same time, the different traits that we all have that makes all of us beautiful.
Right. And then also respecting differences is some people look down on people who they feel not doing nothing because they're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. And some entrepreneurs still look down on people who because they feel like, oh, they working for somebody else.
And they're not
It's
because they're entrepreneur. We need entrepreneurs to build businesses.
like and then the thing, the mindset is, what if they wasn't? What if everybody was an entrepreneur? Who would help? Who would
Nobody,
keep your
everything
business
fall.
running?
We need everybody
You
needs
need
each other.
everybody to
That's
make
why
this
when
world
people
go round.
say I don't need nobody, it's not true. You're relying on somebody, whether you acknowledge it or not. Because what people would do, people never acknowledge the people who support them or ride by them. But as soon as those people do one thing wrong, they blast it all over. But they never, these people could have been to support them for years and do one thing they don't like, and they blast the one thing that they didn't like, but they never consider this person. One of the things, I'm gonna go to number 6 and then I'll touch on that. So number 6, you don't force love. So even though you respect differences, you never force love because it can drain you. It could put you in a bad place to be abused and misused. So you
Yeah.
never force love because one thing about it, people can see when you're vulnerable. If you're desperate for somebody to love you and their heart is not in the right place and they're not for truth, they will use you and you'll be destroyed spiritually and give up on your hopes and dreams or whatever it is and not be the person you want to be. But one thing that I was going to say is that, one thing that people bring out is one thing about the people that do love us. Sometimes we don't consider them
Can y'all hear me still? Am I still here? She goes, there you go.
Oh, I'm waiting till mine's come back in. Okay, there
Yeah, I
I
hear
go.
you. Do it
So
and
one
go.
thing that I notice is that when we have loved ones who support us, sometimes we outshadow the loved ones we have in our life because we focus on like the people who not loving us. So you can
Yeah.
overlook the people who loving you. And a perfect example, I was on the phone with my best friend earlier, and we was talking about, a certain situation in the family, going on. Somebody like steady trying to bring out the bed, and the person who has helped a lot of people. My auntie left helped a lot of people, but people point to like anytime they can't get their way, it's a negative thing.
Mm.
However, during that process, you guys, I was sitting there and we was talking, and I was taking up for my TT, and so I'm thinking like, no, she was there. She was there for me when I couldn't even open my curtains and I was in the dark after my mama died. And you know what? What made me realize is that during all that time and everything I've been through, I had forgot that moment until it hit me today. I had forgot about, well, she's my godmother. I had forgot about her coming to my house cleaning when I couldn't get up to take care of my kids. And my kids was like 3 and 4 when my mother died, opening my curtains for me, sitting there, spending the night, leaving her house, spending the night with me. And so I started crying on the phone. And my best friend, like, hey, you got to chill out. I'm at work. I ain't got no tissue, nothing. And I'm like, but it had brought back the memory of, and I just would like to say, because I don't care, I want to say her name. Love you, I love you, and I appreciate you sticking by my side and being there, being that person for me, because I needed that. And sometimes when you're going through a hard time, you can overlook the people who really love you, who do things. I ain't had nobody else but that. When I was the strong person for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But then
Right.
in the midst of being a strong person, I forgot about the person who was being a strong person for me. And it's been what, 15 years later, and that just came to my mind. That's sad.
And sometimes
Yeah.
trauma erases a lot of memory or puts some things back because I can remember all of us after mom died. Like, what happened with the rest of that year?
Yeah, we
What
kind of blocked it out.
was that? We just kind like the trauma just blanked it out. We lost both parents within a 5 year span.
Mhm.
And my doctor was like, I want to get you help because you just lost both parents in less than 5 years. And you like
Mhm.
at that point 16 years old. So because people don't understand it was a process. So as I was going through this, I was only 16 going through this process. And when
Mhm.
she finally passed, I was 17. So from that point onward, you seeing your mom, the life of the party. But back to the subject,
Well, back
you
to
know
the
what?
subject is you don't force love, but not by, but while working on not forcing love, don't overlook the people that's loving you.
Right, but I also want to say with you don't force love. I mean in more than one way.
Okay, go ahead.
Companionship, friendship. You don't force love in a sense of maturity that say, I love you enough to let you go. If somebody don't love you back, I love you enough to let you
If
go.
I'm
I
destroying
love
your
you enough
life,
to
then I
respect
don't want
your
to be in it.
space. I love you enough to move to sit in the back and cheer for you if I need to. I
Absolutely.
love you enough to make sure you happy the way you want to be happy. So if that means I gotta sit to the side and cheer for you, or sit to the side and wait for you to understand that I'm the one that love you, that's what I need to do. Because I don't want to force my love on you and make you feel overbearing. I want you to know I love you enough to love you the way you want to be loved, not the way I want to love you.
That was good, Melissa. I like that. And we're going to go on to the next. And then you want to be mature enough to accept heartaches. Because when you make that decision that Melissa said, that I'm going to love you enough to step out of your life since you feel like I'm the person who might be hurting you and you don't want my love, you want to be mature enough to accept that heartache and move on and support that person in the way they need to be supported from afar.
Yes. Yes, and heartache, honestly, it's like death. It sometimes feel worse than somebody dying. Like a heartache of any relationship is a grieving process. So, and yeah, sometimes we like to get quick fixes. Like, we have a sibling who's going through a time, and we want you to heal. We want you to put you first. This
Mm.
is your time to heal and build and become a better and stronger you. Because if you do a temporary fix, you are going to be in the same spot again in the next year or two, or maybe 3 years, whatever it is. If you don't take this time that you need to become the better you, then you may be here. So you got to accept heartaches no matter how hard it is.
And
Uh,
Melissa, you made me think about something, because I see a lot of people on Facebook, friends and everything, who seem happy when they're in a relationship, but then they're so depressed when they're not. You have to be mature enough to accept those heartaches, because a lot of them never accept the heartaches and they move on to another relationship. So they're
yeah,
piling heartache
that's a
on heartache
temporary fix.
on heartache on heartache that they never deal with until they get to a part where they crumble and they're in a very low, dark place, because they
Yeah.
never took the time to heal, like you just said, to heal, to accept the heartbreak of that relationship, to accept the heartbreak of that
Go
friendship,
and
or
go through
whatever
the
it is.
stages of grief. Look at the stages of grief, because, like I
It is
said,
grief. It's grief when you have to
it's
leave a relationship,
grieving.
whether it's a friend, just a friendship, or a relationship, or a marriage. It is a grief. It's somebody you spend time with, who you grown to love, you grown accustomed to be around, and you grown accustomed to the things that you dislike about them, that you like about them. So when you're separated from there, because you can not really be in a good relationship but comfortable with somebody's presence being there. So it
Yeah.
is a grief. It's a time of grief, and they need to grieve. And what I see, a lot of people never grieve. They just jump. Like, it was a movie with Denzel Washington. I can't remember the name of it, but most
Oh Lord,
people
I
over.
know what you're gonna say, but I don't even.
And it said time, and every time this spirit would jump into somebody,
Yeah,
he
they
drew,
would start singing
and it
that
would say,
song. Yeah.
time
Mm,
is on my side.
okay.
It is.
They're making eerie.
So
Just like,
some people don't. Some people know what I'm talking
yeah.
about. And look, it's gonna be October next month. And look, so you gotta get used to it.
Tomorrow.
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 So that's what I'm saying. That's what they do. They just, and they never get themselves. So they can never. You can never be, if you don't accept heartache. You can never be the best person for
And
you,
I promise
for
you,
your
one thing I
kids,
can
for the next
promise you.
relationship.
Yes, one thing I can promise you, when you begin to love you, when you so confident and so when you're so confident with you the way you be confident with other people, when you know you the way you know your mate, then you comfortable being alone. You comfortable dealing with situations. You comfortable having that heart. You like, you know what? I'm gonna go through this process, but in this process, I want to date me. I want to learn me. I want to figure out what I like, what I don't like, what happened in that relationship, what went wrong, what I don't want to deal with anymore, what I will deal with. Because every time I tell a friend, when they talk about, like, oh, you married, this, and that, like, I don't know about this person, but they already spending all this time with them. And I would say to them is, you already know what you can live with this person, what you can't live with this person, because you, first of all, you can never change a person. You have to understand what you can live with and what you can't live with. Is those little flaws a deal breaker? Probably not, because you've been together for many, many
Well, I'm gonna
years.
tell you what's the deal breaker. Period. That you should never go into a relationship if you're not comfortable with dating yourself. I have
Hmm.
people who say, "Oh, I don't see myself going to sit at the restaurant by myself or at the movies by myself." If you're uncomfortable with yourself, then you should not be dating anybody else. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's like,
come
God, let
on,
me say it
come
again.
on, somebody. I
If
drank
you're
tonight.
uncomfortable with yourself, you should not be dating anybody else.
Mm,
And that right
mm,
there is the truth. Because if you can't
mm.
sit by yourself and be comfortable, we have a deeper issue. And we're gonna move on though.
Come on, somebody. You don't judge easily. What do you mean? You don't judge easily. I have learned this the hard way. How you learn this the hard way, guys? Because when you judge, you have already decided on something. You have already came to a decision about something. Most times it's an assumption. Most times it's because based on how you feel in that moment, right? Because when you judge, you're like, oh, she probably this, or he probably that, or this situation is because of that. What is that? That's you assuming. That's
Mm-hmm.
you projecting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how judging happens. So don't judge easily, because it may be a different
That's
situation.
Melissa. That's where open minded come in at. If you're
Yeah.
open-minded, if you're mature enough to be open-minded, it's not easy for you to judge other
Don't judge. Ask questions. Get in a conversation. What do you mean by this? Well, I heard you say this. What did you mean by that? And when you begin to ask questions like that, because you know me, I used to be the worst question asker. Like I would tell people in a minute, baby, you don't want me to do an interview.
true. I can attest that that's
I
true.
used to be the worst. Like I would be talking to Marie and my husband. They are people who like, okay, what happened next? Okay, and then what? And then what she said? Then what you think? I'm like, I told you what I know. I told you what they told me. I ain't asked no more questions. I was okay with what they gave me because I felt like that's all they wanted to share.
That's because
So
you surface.
like
Because the problem with that, you was on the surface layer.
only the
I
surface
like to
level.
dig deeper to know, like, so I don't judge. It's not easy for me to judge, is it? Because I want to dig deeper to like, why is this happening? I want to know the why behind it before I judge a situation. I want to know, is this person reacting this way out of hurt or this or trauma or this person just the a-hole or just the evil being, you know? So when you don't ask the questions, you're like, because that's what a lot of people do this day. So they just hear something and they run with it. Like they can hear a
Mhm.
celebrity died, right? And
Uh-huh.
they just judge off that is true off of what somebody else said. And 1,000, a million people put a rest in peace in the family, like he ain't dead. He living, you know? That's why you don't judge, because some stuff might not be true or it might not be as it seems.
Or you want to get all the information because, like I said,
Or all the information.
for me, I'm like, well, I heard what I want to hear. Was that a bad thing on me? Or was I'm like, I'm gonna respect your privacy? I don't know what it was. But for me, I'm like, I heard what you want to tell me. Maybe I was drinking, maybe I was doing something else. I don't know what. But I was like, oh, okay.
I'm so deep, Melissa, and I always, before my background in psychology and coaching and all the studies that I did, I always been a deep person. So I always want to understand why. Like, why?
And even my friend Kawana, she like, well, now what? Now how? Now what?
And
And I'll be like, but when my husband say something, I'm like, now how am I supposed to know that? It's no way to know that. He's like,
what I,
well,
what I
I was
always
just
tell you, but what I always tell you,
yeah. I don't know, you gotta fill me
you
in.
were
You tell me what
supposed
I
to
say.
ask. Why you ain't
I
ask?
know. I got better though, because after a situation happened and I didn't ask questions in a moment and I just let it slide and then it came back to bite me in the end. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start asking more questions. I'm gonna get a little more information if nothing else.
We
But
gonna go
number
on to number.
9.
You sometimes prefer to be silent than to engage in nonsense fights. So, sometimes even in our relationships, you just like, this ain't, some things just ain't worth your energy and your time. So when
And,
the one thing I know that you matured is that you choose your battles wisely. That's the saying that I would like. I say fit that perfectly.
and that too. And sometimes I'm like, if it's your mate, like I'm not even gonna argue with you. But if somebody else, I have noticed in our sisterhood, in our circle, when things that is said or it's something that's make us uncomfortable, instead of us responding, we'll just like, it ain't worth it.
Because
We, we
because you choose your battles wisely. Because the thing is,
and we
in
can remain silent.
The Bible say, "Don't cast your pearls to the pigs." Meaning, if somebody's not going to accept your wisdom, why even give them your
Yes,
pearls?
and even if they offend you, we're just like, you know what? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like
Because it's
just
like
silent.
black wall. So it's like, oh, okay, when you can smell that as a skunk sprayed around here, you guys. I can smell it so strong, and I'm in the house. But when you meet some people, I see a lot of arguments with people on Facebook. I don't even comment on stuff no more because some
Go
people
right
just
past
don't
it.
get it, and if they can't get it, they ain't gonna get it. So it's not. You might as well not waste your. Even if it's your kid, I got a kid who thinks she know everything, baby. And it's some things I get to her, especially if it's about safety. But other things I just roll my eyes and go on.
Girl, 'cause my son, if not like it's those two. We should have had that. No, it's like no, because my son he would get me together. Like, and sometimes you just laugh. That's another form of silence sometimes. Because
Mhm.
let me tell y'all,
You just laugh at them. You don't even try to
you
I
just
don't have
do
to
it to
pretend.
yourself. Like,
Melissa,
huh?
a prime example is us running the cosmetology school. So, we was receiving texts sometimes. People who don't even know us, they just come against you. And at first it used to bother us. I remember times we used to go home, pray, cry, no weapon formed against our sure process. We still say that. But now it's like, this is business. It's going to be people, if you don't bend
Business.
the way they want you to do things, they're going to just be that way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And we just ignore them, and they, you know, you just ignore them and they go away. So that's the same thing, like nonsense from your kids, nonsense from your mate. You know how sometimes your mate frustrated, they come in talking about that crap. You look at them.
Honey, you know my eyes. I get that man that look, sir. It's not gonna go with it.
Because
Can't end
Twine had a
well.
breakdown today. I feel like y'all just playing me.
Who did
We
that?
gonna let you have your moments, Twine.
That and look him. Not just like no, but like easy. Let me tell you though, I was in Ludemeyer's. I was getting my flowers today. And the kids, they were kind of like messing with this plant. They had broke the plant. I'm like, I guess I got to go ahead and buy this plant because they broke the
Mhm.
plant. And like, oh no, don't worry. So
Yeah,
I
you so
I
different.
kind of
I
gave
never
them.
would have thought that.
You know how Mama used to be cold with the faces. So like I kind of developed that. So I gave them the face, right? So we on our way to another store. We in a car and EJ go, Mama, your mad face kind of ugly. Nyree
You just
go,
ignore it. Just
Nyree was like, especially with your braces.
be your own kind. Be your own
I
kind.
will be your own people. I'm like, you know what? It ain't supposed to be cute when I'm mad. But number
Absolutely. So,
10,
so number 9, you sometimes prefer to be silent, not engaged in nonsense fights. Number 2 is our last and most
number
important one.
10,
Number 10. I'm sorry, y'all. Number
your
10. I don't
happiness.
know.
This one is so, so, so important for so many reasons, and we're going to get into it really quickly. Your happiness don't depend from people, but from your inner self. Let me tell you why you do not gain your happiness from people. Do not look for happiness in a person and people because they will always disappoint you. They can control your mood. They control when you up, when you down. So you constantly on an emotional roller coaster. But when you are happy with you, when you know who you are, when you have confidence in who you are and what you bring to the table, any table, baby, it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different roller coaster. You on a whole different level because you don't control how I react. I control how I react. I control how I feel. I control my environment and who's in that environment.
And you know what, Melissa, what makes it so sad? Because so many women have taught their daughters by their actions, that a relationship controls their happiness. So that's another person.
And it's
And
repetitive. It
yeah,
keeps
and
going.
it keeps going if nobody breaks the cycle. So you know, but when you mature, you learn that nobody, because guess what? That person don't even know how to control their own happiness. They're not perfect. They're not a perfect being. They're going through things themselves, so they can't make you happy all the time because they can't make
And that's
themselves
only what
happy all
happens
the
to
time.
you.
So if you're dealing on a imperfect perfect imperfect person who don't even know how to make themselves happy all the time to make you happy, you have failed. You're going to be an unhappy person.
Exactly.
What's going to make you happy is what I said: getting to know yourself, dating yourself, putting God first, letting God lead you. Walking in purpose is going to make you happy. Following those goals that God put on your heart to follow, and not putting your goals on hold because you're trying to count on this person to make you happy. Because you're
Yeah.
never, once you give up, I posted something today. Did you see the meme I posted that I created? Once a person give up on their dreams, they give up on themselves. So
Yeah.
if you have dreams and you feel like, oh, I'm too old for them, you're not too old for them.
Never
You're
too
not too
late.
young for them. You're not too worn out for them. Whatever you might think, it's a lie. If you go after your dreams and your goals and stop depending on people to make you happy, that's where your happiness is. Nothing can make me sad because I'm happy with me now. It was a time, y'all, where
Yeah.
I was sad because I was dark skinned. I was sad because I was down. Oh, I got a big forehead, so I got to wear bangs all the time. I can't wear short hair because I got a big round face. Y'all, I am at a point in my life where I'm very much happy with me. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I recognize that I still need to work on myself mentally, physically, and spiritually? Absolutely. But I still know how to be happiness. And it's
Yeah.
not in whether Antoine think I'm fine or I'm slim enough for him or no other person. It's in within myself. So no matter
Yeah.
what a person think about, I didn't hear people call me a fat bitch. I could laugh at it. It don't bother me because I'm confident in who I am. Like I am, girl. I love
Yeah.
cooking. You know what I'm saying? So it don't certain things don't bother you once you mature. When
Yeah.
somebody like me, one time somebody called us a fat beat, me and my sisters cracked up laughing. We make
But
jokes
girl, cause,
everything.
cause
So
people like, and I had people tell me, I don't like you because you're cocky attitude. I don't like you because you're this. Baby, if I can't tell you nothing else, I know me. I know who I am. I know what I bring. Baby, I'm a whole vibe. People want to be around me. People love me because I'm me and I know who I am. You
and
ain't
I
nothing
want
nobody can tell me.
absolutely you a whole vibe. And I want y'all to know you a whole vibe too. That's
You
why
a
y'all
whole
watch
vibe,
all
baby.
y'all who watch us live and even watch our videos after they're not live. You a whole vibe too. That's why you watch this so that you can allow us to build you up, so that you can know that I am that
Yeah,
bad.
and once you know who you are, baby, and that you are the table, and you don't bring nothing
Nobody.
to the table, ain't nobody gonna be able to change nothing for you. Because that's what you need to understand, that you are a vibe, that people should be blessed to be in your presence because who you are, that you allow them in your space.
Yes. So I want y'all to know. I want to go through some of the things we got. I want to say hello to everybody who said hello to
I
us.
got it.
Because I
Thank
didn't
y'all for
see your
joining
and
us.
Rena, I see your thing. You said that's me. I don't ask questions, but I always end up sitting thinking to myself, wondering what a person meant. That's why
See?
it's important so that you don't have to think like, what did a person mean? Because it will leave you like, I don't even know what that meant.
And then that's the worst thing because your brain fills in what you don't know. Now it become but it's always worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So ask those questions. I learned to ask questions, Rena.
Yes, ask those questions. And you guys, we don't want to hold you any longer. We've been on here for 41 minutes. So we would like to just get back and just say, hold on, I want to take this off of here really quick, the comment off. I just would like to just get back and say thank you guys for joining us for
Yes,
Online Friday. We appreciate you. We love you. We hope you love us. We thank you for commenting. For those who comment after we're not live anymore, we still will respond to you. Y'all, please comment. Leave us a subject y'all want to
that's
talk about that we
I
can
got it.
on. We'll do the research for you. You guys comment and let us
You
know if
know, you
you
know
like
that, Marie, you ain't do my part right. Hold on.
what. I'm not
When I
trying to do your part. I'm just talking to the
No,
people.
I know. I just like when I ran with it rhyme. I like rhyme.
But I just want to say, like, even if you don't like something we said, tell us. If you like what we're bringing to you each Friday, let us know. Let us
Yes.
know, y'all. We want to be edified too. We want to be built up, knowing that we're
We
on the
want to
right
go with
path.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
we want to grow with you. So if you feel like we're on the right path, if you like the subjects we're bringing, let us know. Comment, heart,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, share, add people to the group. Only thing I
Yeah.
do is add them. Only thing they're going to either join or not join. But I challenge you guys, everybody who watched this video, to add 5 people to Unwind Friday group,
I
or
love it.
have them subscribe to invite them to subscribe on the YouTube. We not only want you to go to the group, we want you to subscribe on YouTube because we really want you guys to watch through YouTube. Go ahead,
Yes.
you have to say.
So, guys, as always, thank you so much for joining us for One Wine Friday. As Marie said, if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, drop it in the comments or inbox myself or Marie. We will do the research for you and bring it before you. So, thank you so much for joining us on Unwind Friday. Have a great, great evening.